Hi, class. I'm doing this video to help you find the approximate or estimate of the mean from a from grouped data like this. That means it's already summarized in a frequency table. And particularly in this problem, each class is defined by an interval. So this is let me read the entire problem. The following table summarizes the ages of 145 people qualifying for disability insurance. So that means that they found 11 people between the ages of 25 and 33 that qualified for disability insurance. So we don't know exactly what those ages were. One of these 11 people could have been 25, maybe all 11 were 33. We don't know what their ages were. We just know that there was 11 of them in that interval. And normally with this problem, there's a little simpler problem if there was no intervals here. If it was just a single number, let me show you an example. Let's just say for a second, instead of there being 11 people between the ages of 25 and 33, what if there was just 11 people that were exactly age 33? There was 19 people exactly age 42 and 43 people exactly, or 19 people exactly age 51 that they found. Okay, let's say that this was a situation. So each class was defined by just one number. Okay, then what we would do to calculate the answer here I've got my calculator, is I would enter all the data values or the ages that these are the responses from the people that they surveyed. They were interested in ages of people who qualify for the disability. So that they found a bunch of people who qualify for disability. They asked their age. They got these responses. So 33, 42. So that's the data values or the responses from the survey. And then that would go in L1. And then the frequency of each is going to go in L2. So basically this column is going in L1 in my calculator. That column is going in L2. And let's see how I would calculate that. So let's see how I do this. So let me just clear out of this mode so I can quit out of this mode. So I would go to stats and then I choose edit. And then for my L1, I enter in just the numbers in that first list, which is 33. Enter 42, enter 51. And you kind of get the idea. Like I would go all the way down to 60, enter 69. Let me just do the whole thing for you. 69, 78, enter 87, enter 96, and 105, okay? And then in the second column, I would do the frequency of 33 was 11. So I put 11 right across from 33 here, 11. And then the next frequency of 42 was 19, so 19. Frequency of 51 was 19 too, so 19. And then frequency of 60 was 20. I'm kind of double checking to make sure I didn't miss a number when I I'm saying 69 was 11. Um, 78 was 21. 87, it was 19. There was 1987. And then there was 11 96s. And there was 14 105s. So then I now would go to stats and I would go to calculate and I would go to one bar stat. We are trying to find the mean, yeah. So we go to one bar stats and it tells us we want to put in the X list and the frequency list. So the X list was L1, so second one will give us L1, comma, so they want to put a comma in, second 2, put L2, and then your calculator may be a tad, the screen might be a little bit different, but I don't want to clear out. I just want to go back 1. Okay. And then in parentheses. Okay. Now I just press enter. And that's very interesting. Okay, I believe this 9906 over 145, that's probably the mean. And it's the layout here is so much more different than the TI-85 full calculator. Unfortunately, let me see if I can get any more in data on what these numbers are. They just randomly give us these numbers. Geez. But I believe this 9906 over 145 would be the our mean of the data. Okay, and then yours is going to be say X bar equals, so you'll know for sure it's the mean. Mine doesn't say anything; it just like assumes you know what this is. It's annoying. Okay, so that's how you would do this problem to find the mean, the estimate of the mean, or this would not be an estimate, but this would be the mean of that data if there was no intervals defining each class. Okay, now let's back up and let's let the problem with ours. Let me go back to the problem. Is that was not the case. Let me erase this. There wasn't a single number in this L1, this first column here. So we can't do the problem exactly how I just did it. There is an interval of numbers in that column. So what we have to do is we have to find the midpoint of each of the intervals, and we're going to use that number will be the number that we'll input. And what they're thinking is we didn't know, we know we have 11 values, 11 ages between 25 and 33. So we have no idea what, like I said, if there was 3311, if there's 11 33s, or if there's 5 25s, 5 26s, and 1 27. We don't know what the original data said. This is a summary of the data. So we can't actually find the actual mean. We have to actually estimate it. So the best estimate, if we knew there was 11 values between 25 and 33, is to take the average number between 25 and 33. And that we get that by, you find an average by doing 25, you add up the numbers and you divide by the number of numbers, which is there's 2. So the 25 divided by 33, and let's use our calculator to find that really fast. Wait, so that's 58, and then divided by 2 would be, that would be 4, and then I have to do the division by hand. Oh, 6. Sorry, 6. It's gonna be 6, 26. Okay. 29. Hello. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because it's 2 away from 60. Okay, so it's 29. So the midpoint of this class, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write, these are going to be the midpoints right here. And those are the numbers we're going to end up entering in our calculator. Instead of these numbers, we're not going to put those numbers. We're going to put the midpoints, or what's going to go into our L1 list instead. A minute ago, I put the upper bound, which would have overestimated the mean. This midpoint, when I do the midpoint of that region, I'm going to find a better estimate for the mean. So they said that the midpoint of that first one was 29. So And then now I'm going to go down to the next one and find the midpoint of the next one. We're doing 34 plus 42, dividing by 2. So it is 76 divided by 2. And that's going to be 30. 35 plus 3, 38. 76 divided by 2. Oh, maybe I have a, did I do that wrong? Maybe possibly not. Okay, so I do 3 times, that's 6, 16, and then divide by 2, that's 8. Oh, okay, 38, okay. Okay, and then I believe these midpoints should go up. And then I would do the 43 plus 51 divided by 2, and that would be 94 divided by 2. So that would be 47. And then so it looks like we add 9 to get to the next midpoint here, because they should be equally spaced, just like these are equally spaced. But I'll keep finding the average of these two numbers to find the midpoint of that class. So it would be 112 over 2, which is 60, 56, which is plus 9. Okay, and then we would do 61 plus 69 over 2. So it would be 120 plus 10, 130 over 2, which should be 65. And I'm noticing that I just add 9 to each one because 9 happens to be the class width. Does that make sense? So I'm going to add 9 to 6. It's just a faster way. If I add 9 to this, then I get 74. If I add 9 to that, then I get 83. And if I add 9, then I get 92. And if I add 9, then I get 101. So there's all my midpoints. So now what the idea behind that is that is that this is like a good like estimate for the numbers between 25 and 33. Like I said, we don't want to use 33 like I did originally, because that would be that would be the largest number that the number could have been in that interval. Like I said, we don't know. They said 11. We have 11 numbers between 25 and 33. We don't know what they were. So our best, like estimate of what those numbers were is the number right in the middle of 25 and 33, which is the average value, which is 29. So we say, well, we're just going to say some of them might have been below 29, some might be above 29, but we're just going to average and say these 11 numbers, they're about 29. And these 19 numbers, they were between 34 and 42, they were about 38. And so now we can go through with finishing this problem. And we're going to enter the midpoints into L1. See how to do that. And then so I put 29, 38, 47, 56, 65, 74, 83, 92, 101. Then now I do stats. I'm going to delete that. Okay, now I'm going to go stats. I guess I don't need that anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out of that. So quit, and then I'm going to go stats, and I'm going to do calculate, and then again I'm going to put second L1, comma, second 2, which gives me the L2, and then I press enter. Oh, okay, no wonder why now it's much better. The mean is going to be 9,326 divided by 145. So that makes, and then the mean mode and everything. Okay, so that makes much more sense. It was because I didn't quit out of that screen that it like didn't show everything for me. So that is our mean for this data. It's a 9,326 divided by 145, which you could quit out and like you could actually calculate what that is. No, 9 through what was that? 9,326 over 145, 9,326. And then you could just use a general calculator, just use the same calculator again here to find out what the decimal or, and you don't really, sometimes you don't have to find out what the decimal is. Sometimes it takes the fractional answer just, I mean, unless they said to round to decimals, you can leave your answer as a fraction like that. Let me just quit out of that or clear, and then 9,326 divided by 145 equals, and it looks like it wants to keep it in a fraction. This calculator must be like in fraction mode. So I think we can go to mode and we can say, hey, I want a decimal answer instead. And then I just close it, and now I press enter, and now it gives me that 64.317. So there we go. That is the mean for this problem. All right, I hope that you found this valuable. Have a good day. Bye.